welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to transform a Cabochon Sapphire into faceted stone. Have a look. Okay, this is the stone. It's already cut as a cab, so we're going to use the bottom. It's going to be our top, and the bottom of the Cabochon is going to be our top. What we'll have to do is just to gain a little bit of girdle line to make up our crown, and that's it. And just have to facet it all. It's gonna come out a very nice stone. Okay, let's do it. So first of all, we're gonna buff it in acetone to remove all grease and dirt, to prepare it to be set on the top with the wax. Nice and dry, and then I'll show you the next step. So I selected this big V-dop to center the stone. We're going to set from the bottom on this dop here. So you got the wax. We're just going to melt it, stick it to the stone, and then we center it using this V-dop in the way that we don't have any more to center it top and bottom, but just only left and right. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, I prepared the dop with the wax. Now we heat up a little bit the stone. And the wax at the same time. Now the sapphire is quite strong as concerns the heating. If you have other kind of stones, you might want to heat them slower, and maybe on a little oven. Okay, so we got it dopped like that, and then we're going to put it into the transferring block. And the V on the other side is going to help us to center the stone into the dop. Like that. You just have to be sure that there is enough on the right as much as on the left, because the V is going to move it exactly in the center of the V. And we should be fine, but to make precise, to be sure, we're gonna check it now with the machine. Okay, we put the machine at 90 degrees. We put the lap onto the machine, and then we check now the 72 index and the 24, which are the top and bottom, as you can see. See, this is the stone. You got as a top and bottom, we got 96.48, and now it's 72.24. What we want to check is that this side and that side are exactly equidistant from the center of the dop. And to do that, we just let it do it to the machine to check it for us. Because we put the 24, and we see on the dial that we're on 0. As we put the opposite, which is 72, it is, the dial is not on the 0. So what we have to do is to heat up the wax slightly, push towards the lap in a way that the 0, the indicator here, goes towards the 0, and center the stone related to the dop, like this. Just softening the wax a little bit. Pressure onto the lap will shift the stone, straighten it up, see? Centering it. That's it. That's closer to 0 now, if you can see on the dial. See? This is 24. Now we go to 72. See, pretty much centered. So we can start cutting the girdle first to give a bit of space for the crown, and then we facet everything else. Let's start with the girdle. So the stone actually right now as a cabochon has a ratio 1,33 length on width. So we're going to find a diagram which will help us to do the stone with the same ratio, which is here, length on width 133. You can see there. So we start, you see also this one has a nice full pavilion, which can even be fattened, modifying a bit the cutting. You can see from the schematics, this is the crown, and you got the pavilion. So what we're going to use first is the indexes at 90 degrees. These ones, which will establish the crown thickness at this stage. You know, there are two ways to do this. There is the way that with a midpoint point technique, which we start only with the pavilion at 43 degrees. You just follow this schematic, and the last stages is the 90 degrees, which will establish the thickness of a girdle and the crown. But I prefer to do first this step here in a way that I know where I have to reach with the pavilion angles and with the pavilion facets to leave enough gap for the crown afterwards. Because the stone has a big belly right now, but no space for the crown at all because it's flat. So that's what I will do. I'll start with the 90 degrees indexes and I'll show you what happens. See, I put the machine at 90 degrees for the girdle. I'm using a 600 grit lap. Let's start. The first facets on the side, you cut them as deep as you need for the crown and the girdle to exist, and that's it. I don't think, yeah, we're just going on, and I'll show you what happens once I finish all the girdle lines, facets. Okay, let me show you what I did. You see, the stone now has the girdle facets, and the thickness of the facets, the length of the facets in this direction will establish how much of the crown you can afford after you cut the pavilion. So what we're going to do, we're going to just cut the pavilion with the highest angles towards the crown, towards the girdle, and we complete the stone cutting shallower at the top. Following still the schematics, but starting from the contrary of what usually you cut. Okay, machine at 44 degrees here. We cut the first facets. You could actually decide even to, you could decide in cutting step cuts, but I don't really like step cutting. So I'll do this kind of cut, the lazy, whatever it's called, the 6x8 oval. And then we go on. All right, let's do it. The way Sapphire cuts. Let me show you what I did so far. Okay, see that? The two facets, another two facets, both sides. And then we're going to complete on top with the shallower angles. So what I will do is now, okay, after these two, I'm going to follow this depth for the other facets of the girdle and then finish up with the top. Let's make it. Okay, as you can see, I cut the pavilion ready. Now I have to pre-polish it, and I'll actually fix the meeting of the facets while pre-polishing it. Okay, you see that that's the space for the crown on top. So let's go on. Okay, I put on the 3000 grit pre-polishing disc, so we can start now. Okay, this is with the pre-polishing done at 3000 grit. Now we're just gonna polish it, and then we pass at the top. Okay, we're gonna polish it using a ceramic lap charged with 50,000 diamond grit and some lubricant. I'll show you now a video on how to prepare a ceramic lap for these purposes. So let's do it. We use no water drip whatsoever. We use it dry. So let me show you what happened here. That's too close. Yeah, okay. See, we polish that facet, and then we go for all of them, and then I come back to you. See, just bear in mind to be checking always the temperature of the stone, because it might melt the wax, and you don't want that, because if the stone shifts, then you will lose a lot of time trying to seek back again all the facets one by one. Okay, let's polish all of it, and then I'll come back to you again. Okay, finish polishing the pavilion. Now we transfer the stone and we cut the crown. Okay, I transferred the stone, and we're going to work on the crown. This side, this thing. And like before, we go on 600 grit and then 3000, and then finally we polish with the ceramic lap. Okay, this is the way it comes out from the pre-polishing at the 3000 grit. See, we got enough space on top out of that girdle that we left at the beginning. We're just gonna go polish now and see the final result. Let's do it. Okay, as you can see, the stone is done. I'm going now to detach it from the dop and see what's the result. We detach it from the dop with a bit of heat all on the wax. just fall onto the napkin here. Okay, now we need a bit of acetone to dissolve the wax and see what happens. Okay. Now it's clean. It's not a bad looking stone. Let's take some close-up pictures and show you better. But that's it. You got it. We transformed the Cabochon sapphire into a faceted stone. Okay, let me take some pictures properly. So that was the transformation of the stone into a faceted one. I hope you enjoyed. So if you enjoyed, like it and subscribe. See you next time with the next tutorial, and God bless you in the meantime, and thanks a lot. See you then. Bye bye.